Davinder, that's sweet too. Raise of hands, who likes cookies? For those of you that didn't raise your hand, I do not believe you guys. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. I remember growing up, I was addicted to sweets. I loved ice cream, cookies, you name it, I had it. And I still am. But now I have my cheat days. But overall, I have very good control over the amount of sugar that I have during my day. Because the problem, in this day and age, is that you have sugar in every single thing that you eat. So it's extremely challenging for us to completely eliminate sugar from our diet. And the only option is to reduce it. And it's mandatory and it's important for us, for our body's sake, to have control over our sugar intake, because if we don't, then it's going to have drastic effects on our bodies and may even lead to early death. But first things first, what is sugar? So sugar is a sweet tasting carbohydrate which is naturally found in fruits, vegetables, milk, and some grain products. And for us, it's mandatory because it gives us energy. Now imagine a time that you had your low blood sugar level and you just wanted that coffee or that cookie just to energize yourself. And we need to make sure that we get it from the good sources, which are fruits, vegetables, and like I mentioned, grain products. Because the sugar that we get from these sources are easily digestible by our bodies because it's not processed. But what do? We choose bad sources of sugar. Now imagine when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you run after? Coffee with a sweetener. Or a glass of juice. And then during lunchtime you had that Pepsi or that Coke, and by afternoon you feel like your blood sugar level is so low, you want to have that cookie or the coffee again. So those are very bad sources of sugar. But the question is, how much is too much? According to the American Diabetes Association, adult men should have no more than 36 grams of sugar a day. An adult woman should have no more than 25 grams. Now going back to my example, when you wake up, the glass of juice that you had in the morning, let's say it's orange juice, it had 33 grams of sugar. And when you have that Sprite or that Coke or the Pepsi in the afternoon, that had 38 grams. So by midday, you're already at 70 grams. Now a couple of years ago, the study that was done by Stats Canada, it showed that for all ages, Canadians are taking in 110 grams of sugar on average. And male children from ages 9 to 18, are having 160 and 180 grams of sugar. But as you get older, your sugar intake goes slow. But even at 71 years old, you're still having, on average, 100 grams of sugar. It's still way below what you should be having. But where's the sugar coming from? 80% of our sugar is coming from sugary drinks and all the snacks that we have, which would be the donut, which would be the Timbits, and the cookies and other snacks that are very sweet, filled with processed sugar. And the alarming thing about this is only 5% of our good sugar is coming from fruits and vegetables. 5%. It just goes to show how reliable we are and how reliant we are on all the fast food that we eat. And according to the World Health Organization, the excess sugar is responsible for type 2 diabetes. And since we're putting so much sugar in ourselves, our body can only digest whatever we need. And whatever we don't need is stored as fat. And since we have so much of it, as the previous chart showed, 110 grams, the body doesn't know what to do with it. So what it does, it keeps storing, which ultimately leads to us having complications such as diabetes. To look at the numbers, World Health Organization in 2014 said we had 422 million people with diabetes, and that number is expected to reach 530 million by 2020. In Canada, 9.3% of the population in 2015 had diabetes, which is expected to go to 12.1% by 2025. So what can we do? Since we're surrounded by sugar, and sugar is in everything, what can we do to limit the intake? First things first, we need to avoid juices. We all love those. But imagine, instead of eating one orange and squeezing 5 oranges into that one glass, which one's better? Of course, the one orange that you're gonna have by itself. Don't we all love McDonald's? We need to limit fast food. Because all the large-sized Coke and the ketchup and other type of sauces that you use on your fries and your burgers, it all adds sugar, unnecessary sugar to your diet. And you gotta eat more fruits and vegetables. I can't stress the importance of that. But I myself am guilty. I did not do that either. And always read the ingredients on every food item that you buy. Most of the time, even under nutritional facts, sometimes you will not see any number right beside sugar levels. It will say 0. But if you look at the ingredient list, anything that ends with OSE or O's is sugar, and it's processed sugar. And last but not least, you gotta move a bit. You all gotta move. Because I gave you an example of all the fat that is stored in our bodies. We need a mechanism to burn it all. And exercise is the best way for us to burn that fat. So in the end, it's okay to have the cheat day. It's okay to eat that cookie. It's okay to have that slice of cake that you always wanted. But the main point is the moderation, because moderation is the key to a healthy lifestyle. Mr. Chaucer.